How is it going? And turn that off. Did that turn down at all? Yes. Okay. Just making sure. How's everybody doing? You good? I figured instead of waiting for the entire song, even though I'd love to listen to the entire song, we're gaming with Mr. Maxwell this evening. I didn't change my information to put that in there. I'll do that right now. Because I'm naughty. You are not Mr. Maxwell. No, you are not. You are Ollie. Hello there, dear. How are you? How are you doing today? The PC part ordering started, so I do well. Ooh, nice. Sorry, I'm just updating while I remember to. Can I make editor status here? No. I may jump frames for a second, just so you know. Let's have a look. I've just done it, yeah. Sorted. Okay, so back to being polite and stuff. How are you doing? Thank you for the lurk, Mr. Maxwell. I will be with you momentarily. As soon as I put the rest of my stuff up that I've now lost. I feel me bobble fucking. The case is on the way. Hope it stays undamaged. It better stay undamaged. Do you normally get damaged packages? If you do, tell them you're gonna bash them. See what to say to that. Bitches. Should we move on to the gaming screen? Because Mr. Maxwell's waiting ever so patiently. Should we do that? We'll do that. Hello!
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello!
Whoops. No, get away. Get away from me, sir.
Hello, Duchess, my dear. How are you? God, this game is... Everything's very loud in my ear right now.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to hunt the small monsters.
Oh.
Not the big monsters.
Hang on. Turn you up a little bit. Turn the game down a little bit. Goodbye. Where are you going?
Who's going?
You just got here.
Who's leaving?
Duchess, I'm good. I'm about to make some ramen. Oh, okay, fine. I get it. Totally understand. I
You
understand.
get back here! Nice. There you go.
This game.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna be good at this game.
Right, anyway. I'm safe now.
I have one heart.
Good.
I apologize to anybody in Panda's chat that when I shouted, oh shit.
It's fine.
I can't lift you up. That's not fair.
I think if you're
By the way,
in-
Cyberbeard, have you got this yet?
Has he got wilds yet?
Yeah, he said he was going to get wilds.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well,
Never uses blanket like a cape and hops away.
how dare you?
Is there really any other way to use a blanket? Except also potentially the burrito. I'm a fan of the burrito with a blanket.
I'm sorry, what?
She's wearing the blanket like a cape and hops away. The only other option is a
yes.
burrito.
No. There's another option.
Oh?
To wear it and then go, ooh, I'm a spooky ghost.
This is true. However, I am pale enough. I don't need the blanket. I'm just, ooh. I mean, look at the TV reflecting off my face right now. You don't even need the game screen. If I push this thing up, we can use my 5 head like a fucking projector. We're good.
Your 5 head.
Oh, well, we had... Cyber was about to suggest Blanket Ghost as well. Yeah.
Oh, you are going to regret that, sir.
No, you fucking
Jesus!
Not yet, bro. All right, Cyber. I'll let you off. Since it's you, Cyber, I'll let you off.
My legs are mirrors. They're so white they reflect the sun. Same. Same. You'll hear people screaming, "The beacons are lit!" when I go outside in the sun.
Gondor has lit the beacons.
Gondor calls for aid!
And Rohan shines, sir. Fuck off. I don't want to fight you. Well, actually, I do want to fight you, but I need to invite Panda to a party first. Go away.
The beacon calls us home. Yeah. Do you glow in moonlight? That's a flex of mine. I'm not pale, I glow in
I
the
have to-
moonlight.
I have to actually go outside for that to happen.
It's true. It's like some kind of fucked up Twilight thing. This is the skin of a
Nice,
cripple.
Nexus. Well done. Nexus has slayed his first monster.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the Monster Hunter group. I think this is his first Monster Hunter as well, so...
Oh, starting with
Yeah.
wilds. Right, so I need to increase me hunter rank, so I've basically just got to do optionals.
Okay. I've invited you to a link party.
Yes, you have. Was that everybody? I think I got everybody. Oh, because I see you.
You see who? Who do you
Uh-huh.
see?
Crystal.
What do your eyes see? See, Panda. Oh, he's played World, but not much of it. So you know what? I'm gonna class this as your first monster.
Gonna poop at me. But at least,
got something
at least
What do
this
you
one
have,
has
stranger?
beautiful looking poops.
That was unexpectedly loud.
Are you okay?
Ah, I'm fine.
Okay, there. Whee! This is like fighting all these monsters and coming back to these feels so weird.
I'm okay.
It's like they used to be scarier. and I say that as I miss every single thing. And I don't know if you guys saw, but
Oh,
I
one of these ones. Okay.
nail
I
every
actually need to kill
single
these
dodge
anyway, so
since the start of this fight.
I need their
That is
heads.
crazy. Okay. Our dodge.
Let's do this, Panda.
Harold sent us supply items.
Yeah, it's just a quick one. Just get it out of the way.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yarp.
Let's grow, Griffin.
Wait, that's a wall. You silly monkey? It's a bird. You silly monkey bird. Now I think I've got everybody.
Over there.
Oh, why
Oh,
is there a giant
speaking of
fucking
monkey.
thing here?
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck you, mate.
Ahem. I said.
Anyway.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Cha!
Are you attacking the giant monkey?
Yeah, you're damn right I am. Ow.
Oh,
You go do your thing.
okay. Ka-cha. Jump, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I can turn the game up now. I forgot.
Ow.
Boop.
Who was that? Missed.
So I like sword and shield. It's good.
Are you trying to turn shit out?
Yeah. It's good, yeah. I feel like I should really be helping you fight the lava monkey.
Ah, you'll be fine. I mean, you can come back and help if you like. Ow.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, sir. You may not bring the t-shirt back. You have already worn it.
Fair.
Oh, I'm sorry. You missed me.
Excuse you. Ta-da!
Woo.
Okie dokie.
Looks like the monster dropped something.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, eh? Yeah. Fuck off. That's what you're gonna do. Come on.
Yeah, you tell her. I'll do an actual monster next, because that would make more sense.
Well, to be fair, you know, you're just doing them just to get your rank up, aren't you? So
I was just doing them in order.
yeah, it's fine. Just do whatever. Oh, I have Phasmophobia, by the way.
You do?
I do. I have Phasmophobia now.
I like Phasmophobia.
Okie dokie.
We should have played that. Should probably play it off screen first, though. I did my first solo hunt on Phasmophobia today. It was a banshee, and I survived. I did nearly shit myself a couple of times, though. Banshees are not nice. They whisper in your ear. I don't like it.
Hello. For some bizarre reason, I left the chat. It just kicked me out for some bizarre reason.
Oh,
Yeah.
that explains why you didn't respond.
Yep, that does.
I was like, oh, we should have played Phasmophobia. However, we'll probably play it offline first.
Nexus is asking if he's okay to join the VC.
We'll
I mean,
have to swap
we
to
can
the
go-
Wilds one.
Yeah, we can swap to that. It's up to you though. I don't really care.
No, I'm
So
fine
I'm
with
not
swapping
asked.
to the wild one.
Okie dokie. Right. I'll see you in a second.
See you in a second. Hello, got to add him. That was add him. Sorry. Wrong button again.
Hello.
Aloha.
Hello.
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 All
Hi.
right.
Why are we
Right.
repeatedly saying hello?
I have absolutely no idea.
Right.
Understood.
I don't know if the systems work. Where am I going next?
Oh, actually, no. I'm gonna see if I can make on.
Why can't I talk to you? Oh, okay. Also, did you mention phasmophobia?
Yes.
Did you say you bought it, Maxwell?
Yes. Yes. I have it now.
You know, Nick's also likes that game.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
It's fun.
It's fun. Have you had a demon yet?
I haven't played.
No.
Oh, as a pet. Oh, wait till you get a demon, Panda. Just wait.
I had a banshee. That was horrible.
Demons actually can attack very early on.
Well, you know how
I've
it's
had
meant to give you a certain grace period?
Yes.
Granted, it's not exactly a massive grace period. The banshee, no, she didn't get that fucking memo. I literally walked in and I was like, right, let's start looking around. And instantly, the door slammed behind us. There was fucking lights flashing all over the joint. There was voices in my ear, and I was like, oh, I don't fucking like this one.
Oh yeah, I had that happen to me, and
Hey.
yep, it didn't end well.
No.
It really didn't end well.
What are we?
I was instantly just like, I shouldn't be playing this by myself. I should be playing this with Cyber.
Wait, you were playing it on your own?
Yeah.
God.
Why?
What?
Because I want to get some practice in.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. Yeah, so I played it from when it came, well, for not long after
See
it
you
came
later.
on PC, and I thought it'd be a great idea to try it in VR.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I regret that.
Yeah.
My cousin also did it, and he didn't like it.
You did it! You did
But-
it!
No,
I
no,
knew
tried it
you
once in
would! I
VR,
just
and I've
knew
never
you
done
would!
it.
Thanks.
I wonder why.
Yes, I wonder why. Maybe for the fact if I absolutely shit myself and ran out of the house.
I just like drop everything, turn everything off and duck. Hello, Joe. How are you? Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing?
Hi, Joe.
Oh, jeez. Pitiful.
Right, Panda, what are we doing now?
Let's have a look.
What are we hunting?
Well, we could do it Zewoo or
Okie
an ebony
dokie.
or dog.
You just set us off.
We'll do a Zewoo.
I totally
we
screwed
done
myself
with
by
it?
using Leah before I got its health all the way
Yeah,
down.
well, take an extra minute.
Damn it.
Damn it. Look at that guy's bird.
It has been a while since you've been able to catch one of them. To be fair, though, I've not been very consistent over the last few weeks. Because
Yeah, you have.
something
What are you
always
about?
comes up. No, last weekend I didn't because it was Demon Downpour weekend. Nobody wants to do that shit.
Oh yeah, I know, but like you have been consistent. Just like 1 week out of what? A month? That's still pretty good.
I love my cheerleaders.
That's what I'm here for.
Running around with no pants on. I mean, that's fair. I think that's the best way to run around if you're going to. And
Well,
I
it
am glad you're
depends.
good, Joe. I am glad. It's
It
Duchess.
depends.
No. I think if you need to run around, pantsless is the way to do it.
No, but like it depends where you are. What happens if you fall over?
I mean, if
That's
I
a good
fall
point.
over, doesn't matter if I've got plans or not, I'm doomed. They'll be like, oh, she must be seen at a hospital. She had spinal injury. She could have done some form of damage.
And we're disabled now.
Yeah. It's like, no, technically, we were already disabled.
Okay, we are 100% disabled.
Now we're just like, for God's sake, I just fell down. I'm okay. I bring tacos and chaos. Oh, nice. We had tacos before as well. So banging.
Wow, somebody's brought tacos.
We've just been torturing Nev.
That's a brave thing to say in Panda's chat, because Panda will find you. She will hunt you. She will find you, and she will steal your tacos.
No, I'll let Duchess have them. It's fine. I'll be nice to Duchess.
Okay.
Anyone else, though?
Exactly. Anyone else?
Okay,
She
well,
comes
I may
with
wanna have
Liam Nielsen.
Exactly. He was doing a cooking stream. What was he cooking?
Who?
Nev. My nightshirt goes down to my knees. Ah, you're fine then.
Are you at the squid thing?
I'm on my way to the Zewil.
Oh, okay.
I can't
was
say it
wondering,
any
I was
other way
just
now,
like-
you know. I can't.
Zewil.
I was talking about Dave yesterday. I was like, so we were hunting this thing called it Zewil. And she just looks at us, she was like, excuse me? I was like, it's involuntary, I can't help it. It's like anytime a notification goes off on Discord, now I'm like, fucking boop boop. Every time. I should mention, Nev can't cook.
Oh.
Every sub added hot sauce to his pasta. Oh dear.
Oh, I see.
So he can't cook, and he had hot sauce on his pasta. Oh.
He can't cook. Okay, right. So, Duchess,
No, this
just
one.
just for health and safety, do not. Maybe see if somebody else wants to try it first.
No, this one's Joe's. Joe's saying that they were on Nev's stream. Nev's doing a cooking stream for every sub.
Oh,
He's getting
okay,
hot sauce
right,
out of the pasta, but Nev can't cook.
Right, I've got you now. Right. Okay. I thought you were saying that the person that made the tacos couldn't cook.
No, I think Duchess can cook.
Duchess can do whatever she puts her
Sicky
mind to.
Exactly.
She is a
Duchess.
strong, independent woman.
Ow.
She is a Duchess.
My dog was called Duchess.
Je suis arrivée.
Hey, this!
She was.
You
Yeah.
spangly bastard!
Yeah.
What the hell are you hunting?
You fucking twirly whirly cunt.
What the fuck? Whirly whirly cunt.
Yeah.
Take this, you...
So what was
You
the pasta
Slenderman
meant to be?
wannabe.
Oh, I hate this bit.
You know you can counter-attack that.
Yeah, I know, but fuck it.
Okay, let's start working on the tentacles. Yeah.
Ooh! Ah, didn't work to do that.
Ow.
Swish, swish. Swing, swing.
Ugh.
Ah,
Oi. Will you stand still,
no. Ah!
you little bastard?
Nope. Give me that. Give it. Give me the fucking tentacle, you piece of shit.
I got it! Yeah! There we go, take this, you bitch.
Are you fighting like a Cthulhu squid thing?
No, the Cthulhu squid thing's the lava.
Oh, yeah, that's the... I hate that one. That is the one I hate the most.
This one I'd say is more like a druid octopus thing.
Yeah, I would go...
Because it's made out of branches.
Oh.
It's like if the Ent people had pets, they would have a Zewoo.
Oh. Okay.
You can just see Treebeard walking his pet Zewoo. I said what I said. Take this.
Oh, he's got a
Some of
woo.
this. He's got a few of them.
Nice! Hey,
Oh.
that, you little bitch.
Yeah, motherfucker.
We took off one of his, Hey. Who do you think you are?
Oh
I
no.
don't know how, but I've ended up with the light crossbow.
The bow's really good, actually.
Yeah, the
Come on,
bow's
then.
really good on this one.
Oh, I thought it was going to go for me. Oh, it did. Oh, we already have an ad starting in 1 minute, just so you know.
Fuck you, you little shit.
Yeah! And your mum.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Ha! Loser.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, doing it. See, I'm being dedicated to the streams.
Exactly.
You get 2 weapons on this one, by the way. So if you want to go bow and something else, you can do. But I would suggest going for a close range and a long range. Just because there are some monsters on this that are like, if you've got a close range weapon, you ain't hitting it.
Right. Okay.
Yay!
So probably keep the bow and go for something.
It's supposed to be
else.
raining like crazy right now, and it's not. It's always raining here.
I'm gonna cut your fucking up. No, maybe I'm not. Okay.
Oh, I love them bonuses.
Aww.
Are
You shouldn't be
okay?
sitting in your computer chair, then you need to be resting. Yeah, Cyber's
What's
back's
up?
hurting from earlier.
What were you doing earlier?
He took a tumble.
You took a tumble?
He took a
Cyber,
tumble.
why have I not been informed of this?
I know Nurse Mike should have been informed immediately.
I know. How am I supposed to get my sexy nurse stuff on if you're not telling us?
My hair gave me a heart attack. How did your hair give you a heart attack? Did you think it was a spider? That happens to me a lot.
What's up?
Well, you'll just be lying, minding your own business.
No.
And then one single hair will just randomly tickle the side of your neck or something, and I'll instantly think there's a spider trying to crawl on us. Every time. My fear of the spider has no limits.
Your fear of the spider has no limits.
Yep, doesn't fuck about. Instantly just like, that could be a spider on your shoulder. Me and a Jet Li comes out and was like, wah! My dad's house isn't up to code, so things like snakes, mice, spiders, and grasshoppers get in. See? It's understandable why you have hair fear then.
You best be like lying down on the couch or something good for your back.
Exactly.
You better not be sitting in that gaming chair.
Exactly. See?
Everyone is fucking reclining in one I've got.
Hello, Pan. How are you?
Hi, Pan.
Stop
Okay.
snitching. You said you had a bad back. I was just explaining why. Ah, still need to increase my hunter rank. Okay, next.
Huawei.
It's not my fault. You should have spatial awareness when you're pissing yourself laughing. It's not my fault I'm funny. Do you know how much trauma I went through to get this funny?
Yeah. And I'm just naturally funny.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't need trauma or anything like that. I can just, I'm just good. Oh, fuck.
That is true.
You were saying, sir?
Pan says, hello, Mr. Maxwell.
Hello, Pam. I hope you're doing well.
He says,
We
I
need to
hope
do
y'all
that.
are well. I am well. I hope you're well.
We need to do that shared chat thing again. And hopefully,
Well, I need to get the computer up to...
hopefully your PC won't die next time.
Oh, it'll fully die. Like, I need to upgrade something before I can do that.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Who a thing can attack it? My hair is almost back to its length before I cut it short the first time.
Right.
And it was slowly falling
gonna go
between my
pearls
shoulder
first.
blades, so I thought something was crawling in my shirt. Yep, I've been there. Ugh.
Really?
Look at the hammers.
Ooh, I'm just gonna kill these things
Fuck.
very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if you just go back?
No.
Take this
Oh, okay.
and that, and have another.
So today
Right.
we are hunting the what's this called?
The
The new Udra.
Yeah, the new Udra, and I fucking hate this thing.
Yeah. It's basically a big, like, octopus covered in tar on fire.
X.
I nearly
Because I mean,
died.
who doesn't want that? On my way. I don't know whether I should use the bow or not.
Is it not later on I get the option to wait? Oh.
Oh, I didn't turn the game back up. Sorry. Sorry. Now it's probably too loud.
Oh. You want to come up here, dear?
I mounted it.
Haha! Yes, and that, and this, and that, and this,
And that?
and this, and another.
Some of that and one of those.
Ow!
You big bitch.
That's what you get.
Oh yeah.
Hutcha! I need your horns. Oh. I don't think he's happy.
No, I don't think he is either.
Shoot. Yeah.
Not happy.
Fucking rude.
Not happy.
Fucking disgusting.
Disgusting. Woo.
That's it. That's
Oh.
trying to shoot you in the face. Ow.
Oh no! He's coming!
Gotcha!
Just to him with your hit gun. Fuck yeah, Harold. And hello, welcome in. How are you? Thank you, Griffin.
Why are
Who was one of you?
on fire?
You don't need to be sorry. I was late anyway.
Ow. Ow. You say
I forgot
sorry?
to eat.
Hello, Harold. Welcome in.
Oh, thought that might work.
Yeah, no, you need to use
Could we get a
anything watery.
shouty for Harold, please?
Yes.
Watery. I don't have water.
Yeah, it puts him out faster. And then he does less damage. Ow. Oh. No.
Thank you.
But
No. Oh. Alright, go for it. Do it.
Thank you, Cyber.
Give it a hug. Give it a hug.
Very kind of you. Ooh. Ow. Ow. Stop it.
oh fuck.
Oh.
Oh, worth it.
Ow. No.
Totally.
I think it's mad.
Bitch. Yeah.
Oh, paralysis!
Ha! Take that shit, bitch!
Ooh. Did I give... I don't think I gave Mr. Maxwell a shout out before.
That's okay. I'm literally right here.
I know. I know how to kill the clowns in Repo. Oh, you do? Do tell, do tell.
Is he on with the little clowns?
Thank you, darling.
Oh, by the way, Panda, you have a friend request
I do?
on Steam. Oh!
Oh. Only that you have a friend. I'm like, I do?
Oh God, you have a friend.
Are you okay?
I mean, I may reluctantly be your friend, but I am your friend.
I killed the mammoth.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what?
Why? Why are you on fire?
Killed.
Ah!
I'm gonna need to clip that.
And it's bad enough you're a squid.
It is. Got a point.
Squid's on fire.
Why do you have to be a squid on fire? It's like somebody went, oh, well, it's a squid. It can't get any worse. And then it just went on fire.
Look, there's nothing wrong with a squid on fire.
There's everything
There
wrong
is
with a
right
squid on
now.
fire. Oh, God. Ow.
Speak no lies. Have no friends. Exactly. I know.
No, no. Panda has friends. They're just reluctantly her friends.
Ooh.
Will you stand still, you little slimy
Okay.
fuck?
I know you love me, really. It's fine.
Oh. Ow. I swear to
Gotcha.
God, this...
That should have got the red spot. The duck you can kill, get them to jump in a pit, or... Yeah, I know that one. You grab them, rotate them into the floor, and boom, dead. Ooh. I'll have to try this. Do you need, like, strength increases and stuff?
Oh, we broke it. We broke a tentacle.
Good. Motherfucker.
Ow. He hit me with the broken tentacle. It's like he got it really, really personally.
You bitch. Haha.
He's got a wound on one of his arms. Oh, he's got 2 wounds.
Even better. You don't need the upgrade. Now you listen here.
Ah, missed. Yeah, missed.
Hit.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna just stand here and shoot the motherfucker. No, I'm not, because I missed.
I would like it if you hit him.
I would too.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Oh God. Oh. Thank you, Easy
Thank you,
Girl.
Griffin.
I mean, it's about time you actually healed me, you stupid cat. There. He's got a wound. Yeah. Ow.
Ah, yeah, ow. You will do nothing. I love how every time I look down, Harold's just shouting in chat. That you will do
We've
that.
cut off another. We've cut off another one. Take that, you bitch. Yeah, what are you gonna do now? Well, maybe that. But
Probably hit us with the ones that he still has left. I'm using Max as bait. But he's so good at it.
I am very good at being bait.
Woo. Nah, you
get
got
back here,
no
you bitch.
hands.
Eh. There you
Uh-oh.
go.
Woo.
Oh shit. Good. Fucking try it.
Ha. Ah. Deserved. I'd eat him up if he was bait. Of course you would. They're wiggling.
Is that cyber saying you would eat?
It is, yeah.
Don't forget, you
Love
can
you,
collect
boo.
materials from severed parts.
In Repo, I'm my friend's monster finder, because the monsters always find me. I am the problem in Repo. I am the problem. And I'm okay with that.
There we go. We got some tentacles.
You are. I know I am. To be fair though, the bogies thing was really funny. And you survived.
They get to fishing.
Is there anything else down here?
There's some ore. If you can get to it.
I've got 2 lots of ore. Oh, never mind. Time ran out.
Right.
It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Exactly. Harold gets it. Harold gets it. I'm sure I've already said I identify as a problem and my pronouns are uh-oh and oops. And occasionally my pronouns are try me. In one of my solo runs, the blind guy tripped down the stairs and I had to bite my lip from laughing. I would laugh. The reason Cyber thinks I'm the problem in Repo, other than the fact that I am the problem in Repo, is one of the first times I experienced the blind guy. I stood behind Cyber and screamed bogeys at the top of my lungs and then ducked. And he got shot. It was hilarious. Everyone was completely silent. Like, Yosti was on one side of the room, Cyber was in front of us, and I just snuck up behind him and I was like, bogeys! And then ran.
Most of the time people get fucking killed by him, it's in the most like funniest situations, so you've just got to try not to laugh.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes it's so hard to fucking hold it in. I remember the first time I saw it. Yes, sir. You go first.
Oh no, I was just the side eye's what gets me. But the first time you saw it.
So the first time I saw it was with a friend of mine, and they'd said something. I turned around and I see just like a shadow of something. I'm like, huh, what's that? They walk backwards into the blind guy.
Right.
So they get blasted to fuck. So I fucking start screaming and running around.
As you do.
I stupidly got saved by the alien. Because the alien grabbed me whilst I was screaming.
Oh!
And it shot the alien instead.
Those supplies will help
So
with
it kind of got saved. I still died in the end. But it kind of worked.
It was a partial win. Take whatever win you can.
Yeah, it was a partial win, but yeah. I don't like Blind Guy. He's killed me too many times.
Don't start what? Yawning. I can't help yawning.
Yeah, you can. Don't worry.
I can't help it.
I'm doing it deliberately to make everybody else feel tight.
Look, I can't help it, okay? I have insomnia.
Yeah, okay.
She lies. You are a temptress of yawns.
Temptress of yawns.
Yeah, just of yawns. Nothing else.
That's fair. Oh yeah.
Right, Panda, pick a weapon.
Heavy bowgun.
Okay, I've never used the heavy bowgun. Pick a monster.
Rathalos.
Okay, let's see. Can I make the Rathalos good?
I won't start you off again.
Right, I need another one because Rathalos there isn't a heavy bowgun for Rathalos.
Oh, what's that? The one that makes the really kind of emo, gothy looking stuff. It begins with a G. It's one of the newer monsters.
Oh, the Gormagala?
Yeah.
Gormagala. I can't make that. I'm missing one claw.
Of course, it's always just one claw.
I can make the fat dragon one though.
Oh, there you go then.
Okay, right.
Whoop! I just said that.
Ooh, flare.
I missed every single one of them. Oh, no. That was English, I swear. If you squint. Whew.
Okay. On my way, Panda.
Okie dokie.
And I'm using the heavy bow cut.
Okie dokie.
Wait, so you using the light ball? Panda?
I'm using the light ball gun, yeah. I'm currently chugging a monster, otherwise I'm gonna be asleep in 10 minutes. Am I boring you, like?
Have you already left to get the monster? It's not.
A bit! Oh. I'll remember that.
Panda, probably now.
I didn't catch any of that. Woo!
Ugh, I'm being attacked by a fucking chicken.
Yep. That'll happen.
The big ass fucking chicken.
Don't be mean. I'm tired and still a little drunk. I'll cry. You'll be fine. I'm not being mean. You're the one that said I was born. How's that me being mean?
Let's go, Panda!
It's trying to spit on me. Shut up. You said you'd remember it. I will. How can I not remember when you've called us boring? Know what I mean?
Shooting it in the face.
There's a solution. What? Not be boring. No, they missed.
Have you seen my gun?
No. Wait.
Fucking, it's got a face.
It has a face.
Yeah, hold on, where are you?
I'm behind you. Oh! That's
Yeah,
awesome!
Yeah, that's the fat dragon.
That's amazing. Mine does not have a face.
Yeah.
She's the succubus. She's the succubus of
She comes to and lures you with her voluptuous wares to bed for Morpheus' cold embrace.
My voluptuous wares.
Voluptuous wares, yeah.
Do you mean? Are we talking about maracas again?
Yeah, no one has ever said that about Panda. I can safely say that.
My voluptuous wares. Morpheus' cold embrace. People say I've got away with words. I've got nothing on Harold. You know you're not born, you silly sausage. Well, do I? Do I, though?
Ow. Ow. So it turns out he doesn't like being shot in the face.
No, not many people do. I mean, if you give them a tap on the shoulder, it's not as bad. What do you mean, fine? My brief time as a scriptwriter and creative writing major comes in handy at times. It does, it does. Will you stay still? I'm a fucking shite shot. Being very inconsiderate right now. I'm trying to multitask here.
I know, we're talking to chat right now, mate.
Yeah, it's not my strong suit, okay?
Got it. Boom! You didn't like that, did you? Right in the face. Okay, so,
Nope, missed.
Ooh. Ow. Ow. Okay, so...
I at least hit it.
Ow. Ow. Okay. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
I think so. I mean, he did knock me off the cliff. And I fell for a very long way.
Excuse me. Ha! Oh. Woo! Did you see that dodge?
Ooh.
Total fluke.
Yes, yes I did.
Total fluke. See? It's like fucking Billy Elliot all over the place. Jesus!
Fuck you.
Whoop. I mean, does it have to spit?
I mean,
Shut
it
up.
would be nice if it didn't do that.
Oh no! Oh no! Ow.
Quest complete. You were amazing as always.
Thanks.
Did someone just dive into its bum?
Yeah. Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
that was Panda. Panda likes to do that sort of thing.
So how's everybody's weekend going?
Mine is going okay. Mine's going
Good.
okay. I'm getting
You're
ready for
obsessed with
WrestleMania.
cake. I am. Oh,
I
you're
mean,
getting ready
who's
for WrestleMania.
not? Who is not obsessed with cake?
I mean, there is that, but like, have you seen his cake?
Holy shit, look at the size of that mouth. It's just like fucking huge. I mean, people who are into vor are gonna love that.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said.
Okay, I like the heavy bowgun.
They're cool, aren't they?
Yeah, it was actually, I actually really liked that. I had a bit more fun than I usually do with the bow. I'm
Yeah.
sticking with the face, though.
Yeah, that's creepy but brilliant.
I feel like it's judging you.
Yeah. Have you drank enough actual water today?
That's a good question. Have you?
Oh,
Or are
now
you
I
asking
can-
that to somebody?
Tea has water in it.
Tea does have water in it, and technically, yeah, tea's not bad for you. Well, depending on what tea you have.
And this one's specific for hydration. It's not exactly water. I can feel the facial expression he's pulling right now. Someone destroyed my camp.
Oh no.
Dirt.
Yes.
Wait, what do you mean someone destroyed your camp?
You can
It tells
build,
you across
camps.
the side, yeah. And it'll tell you on your little screen if some monster's gone past and destroyed it or not.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello.
Okay, right. I need to eat and have a meal. In game, not real life. I have actually ate today. Before somebody
Supper?
yelled at me.
Vengeance! I got them!
There we go. Secondary one.
Okay. Let's go!
It's a me.
I'll be there soon.
Let's be sure to use that.
It's fine! Shoot the monkey!
There we go. Because nobody likes the fucking monkey.
I really like this monster.
What the fuck?
No,
Why
you
is that
don't.
fire monkey?
I do!
Yeah, it's a
It
giant
looks
bird.
really cool.
Bird fire monkey. It looks really weird.
Oh yeah, but it's
It
cool
does
though.
make some really cool armor though.
Yeah.
Like if you like Black Myth Wukong, you can get really cool looking sort of army that you think that was from that.
There's a monster later on that makes armor like a Monkey King.
Yeah, it is. Oh, actually, Panda, pull him forward.
Move forward.
Hold on. No, pull him over here.
Okay. Never mind, he's already there.
Okay.
You're welcome. Oh,
Take that, you little shit.
you're not so little shit.
Fuck you, you Donkey Kong wannabe.
He's like a pissed off pine cone, isn't he?
Yeah.
Huh.
You may not want to be born a pineapple, but you fucking are one, you
I don't
dick.
think he was very happy with my pine cone comment. He hit us with a fucking rock.
Ow.
He does look like a pine cone.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm
Yep,
gonna go for the
indeed.
tail.
Nearly.
Ow.
These headphones are much better for attempting jump scares.
Ooh. Ow. Ooh. Ow. That I'm not gonna lie. That is something I'm never gonna have on my channel.
Well, what I find funny is I made the jump scares, and the fucking dicks thing scares us more than jump scares.
Well,
That seemed quiet. Are you cheating? No.
Is it not for the fact that you expect it though?
No, because I don't see it pop up in chat, unlike some people that are now claiming that I'm cheating.
Claim it's for cheating.
I swear to God, you. Well, yes. Okay. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Run away!
Money don't jiggle.
Grab his dick and twist it!
You wiggle wiggle.
Okay, man, I wasn't gonna do this.
I'm trying. Thank you for the biddies and stop it.
Yeah.
Now, see, you say you've turned that off, right? But you do still see it pop up in chat every now and then. Stop it.
Fucking no. Okay.
Stop
What,
it.
have you turned it off so it's supposed to not go into chat?
What do you mean?
I haven't. Cyber's got a few jump scares, and because there's a bit of a delay, he sometimes, well, he about 50% of the time sees it pop up on the screen unless he's like really focused on the game.
Yeah.
I need to go into StreamerBot and redo the jump scares so they come through a lot louder on my end.
You saying they're not?
No, they're not.
How do I switch between weapons now that I've got two of them?
You press, well, we press right on the D-pad. Sorry, I like to engage with my chat. You should be sorry.
Oh! Aha, thank you. Fuck, I keep jumping onto the fucking stupid bird.
Yeah,
thing.
no.
Gotcha. Ah! Let me tell you something.
Oh, bless him, he's paralyzed.
I know the fit. No, that's a lie. I'm not there yet.
You are watching a master at work.
I know.
Emotional damage.
Well, are you just going through them all now, are you?
You know what? I feel kind of bad because at the end there, I was kind of just behind his, like in between his legs. So I think for most of that, I was hitting his junk.
Well, I mean, Harold did request that we grabbed his dick and twisted it.
Well, yeah. Harold, I am here to provide, you know?
Mr. Maxwell, nurse and providing of dick twists.
Yep. Yep.
What are you?
Anything else that we can grab?
My chat is not dead, you cheeky bastard.
Who said your chat's dead?
Incredulous yeah.
One of those shitty bots?
Yeah,
I've yet
so
to have one of those.
We now
I just
have
keep getting the normal ones of like, you can get loads of...
Yeah, well you buy viewers. Yeah. That's what you
oh no, this one says, time to resurrect it with doghype.com. So that'll be another phrase that gets thrown into the do not listen pile. That Harold requested it made me choke on my coffee. We like to entertain and serve chat here. We are for the people.
We are professionals at our what
yes, we
do.
Are. Oh, Bella, you look so cute. I'd turn my camera,
Bella.
but I can't. Hang on,
Of course
I'll take
Bella
a picture.
looks cute.
And she'll go in the Discord. Watch, now I've said it, she's gonna move, right?
Yeah.
You need a haircut, but you look really cute. I nearly shit myself, you dickhead. That was uncalled for. Well played.
Did
Do you know
somebody get
what?
you a jump scare?
Cyber did, yeah. Because he's a mean, mean lady. There you go. That's what I've just turned around now. She's laid down now. She's like, right, you got your picture. Fuck you.
Okay, let's have a look.
Ow. These kind of hurt my ears a little bit. I think it's more the headband than the headphone, though.
Have you got new headphones?
Yeah, because you know how I had the other in-ear ones? You've got to put them in the case to charge them. Well, I couldn't find the case, so then I found the case and lost the headphones. So then I found the headphones and lost the case. So I was like, do you know what? Fuck you. And I bought more headphones.
Oh, look at her.
She's cute, isn't she?
Yeah, well, of course she's cute. She's Bella. She's always cute.
I mean...
Yes.
Look, me and Bella
I
are
know.
like best friends now.
I know.
I do think it's because I'm really tall and I can pick her up and she's taller than everybody else. I do think she's using me for the height, but you know what? I accept that.
I mean, it's that and you allow her to, like, smother you.
I do, yeah.
Whereas I'm just like, no. You look at her like you.
Can we make the chicken armor? I think.
Of course you can.
Hope you find something useful.
I do need that coup. I
Aye.
need to hunt a couple of those.
Oh, this thing's horrible to shoot.
What are you shooting?
The Hirabami.
Alright.
Ah! Stop it! Yeah, meh.
On my way! Sorry, I was
Do
making
do
armor.
do 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 do.
On my way. Did Panda just say that you basically go for her and ask, "Are you my mum?" No.
I'm sorry, what?
No.
No, my dear, we can't have any of that foul language around here. The amazing digital circus is a place to be
Panda's like a
enjoyed by
sister,
all
so
ages.
now
You, my
just sort of
friend,
just like,
stumbled into an
you.
incredible world of wonders where anything can happen.
No offense, Panda.
Right. No, you're fine. To be fair, I didn't catch most of that because apparently that alert is loud as fuck. Ah, I just swore. Shit. Give us a minute.
Have you got the? Have you got the?
Wait. So what happens if you swear? What do you have to do?
I've got to do a shot of tequila rose.
Oh.
I know it's not the end of the world, but literally did the thing. And
You saw already,
and I instantly swore. Yeah. Yeah.
That went quick.
Yep. Yep.
So I've just done like an SOS help. Now it says rewards money 440Z. It says reward was 3,960. It says faint times 2. Does that mean that one of the other players must have fainted twice? Because I never fainted during that.
Normally if it says faint... Hang on, is it... Have you started the thing or is it the end of it?
No, it's the end of it. I haven't fainted.
Oh, well, someone must have then, yeah.
Whoever helped you probably fainted, yeah.
Well, I was helping someone, so it's probably one of them, right?
Yeah.
Oh no! Thanks. Oh no!
Stand still, you slimy little shit.
Yeah.
That's one good word for it.
Swear word, swear word, swear word.
I'm allowed to swear. Panda's not.
I know.
Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh. Stop.
Oh, I was
spitting
going to
at me.
try and shoot you free, but then it got you. One sec, I'm going to have to turn you up because I can't hear you now. I could hear you fine before.
Yeah,
Yeah?
the music has calmed a bit.
I'm trying not to talk too loud so I don't wake up now.
That's fine, I'll just...
Right, okay.
I'll just turn you up.
Oh
I
my
swear to God,
God.
he's doing this for me.
My
Head broken!
other four has the uniform from Monster Hunter Worlds now. Hello.
He's got a wound.
Got it! I got shot in the process, but that's okay.
Hey, it works.
You know, you'll have to wait until after this hunt for us to go get the tequila. Just so you know.
Well, I mean, you could go now if you want.
Maxwell's like, no, you can go now.
I'm just saying you can go now if you want. I mean, although, to be fair, this guy's not going to last much longer.
Exactly. See? See?
Hold on.
Okay, I'm being trivia. I just realised, because you know, every time I kept trying to switch weapons, he kept calling the creature along. I'm guessing you called the creature along.
Oh, ow!
Will you? Thank you.
He's got a wound.
No. Ah.
Oh, shit.
I don't know why, when I see that creature, the head part just reminds me of like a very weird looking Pokemon.
Like a what?
I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because I've got both of your streams up, so it's like the resolution is shit because I'm using it on a shitty monitor. But
I see.
with it being pixelated, it looks like a very weird Pokemon from like fucking, like if it was like yellow or blue or something.
I nearly swore again.
You nearly swore again.
Fuck yeah!
Thank you! Oh, I like the little bird you've got.
Who?
Wait, he's got a little bird.
On Ichigo?
Oh, yeah, right. So, you know, Zoshia?
Oh. Uh-huh.
So, basically what the last update's done is made him, or her, or whatever the dragon is, you can get stuff. You can make armor from that one now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the armor that the cat has. But the weapon is the little bird.
That's quite adorable.
Yeah. The armor is like it's like an angel-looking thing.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
have to show you.
Right. I will be right back, screen, and go get the tequila.
Right, I'm going to turn you up next because you're very quiet all of a sudden. I'll turn you up a
What you mean sounds a bit weird? Oh, hang on. I'll just mute myself for 2 seconds. Okay. Oh. Hmm. Hang on. I wonder if it's done that thing again. It's done the thing again. Is that better? Yeah? Good. Okay, so. I'm assuming the timer went off. Oh no, still got 1 minute. One. Why not yet? Why not yet? Oh. I'm like, why can't I have the shot? One. Oh! Time went off. Two. Yum. Now. And back we go.
I completely agree.
Me too.
Yes. What's the top films at the moment on Odeon?
I was looking for my pillow.
Was the Tequila Rose nice?
Oh, they're lovely.
Nice.
Oh, they're doing a 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith.
Nah. I've got it on Blu-ray. And I also got Disney.
I don't know what the difference between the old one and the 20th anniversary version.
It'll be, they'll have like upgraded it to like high definition and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's usually what the anniversary ones are.
I've got it bought on like Amazon anyways. So like I can really want to. Like
I've been watching Reacher. That's what I've been doing.
No.
Yeah, it's very good. If you like a big muscly man.
Oh, don't worry, I've seen Reacher.
Beating the shit out of people.
Yeah.
They're like this. That's you don't need anything else. Reacher is right up your street.
Yes, it is.
Is it Alan?
I mean, personally, I would like him to maybe wear shirts that actually fit him. But I get why he's doing it.
I think I know what you're on about because I've seen like loads of fucking YouTube shorts of it.
He definitely does not wear shirts that fit him.
No, he does not. Yes, they are. Thank you, wardrobe team. You should see him in what's it? Oh shit! What is that thing called? Ungentlemanly Warfare. There's him and Henry Cavill in there. Fuck my life. Such a good movie. Such a good movie.
I wonder why. Oh,
Yeah.
I watched The Gorge the other day.
Oh, did you? Did you like it?
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. I liked it up until that old woman got involved.
Eh.
And then I started questioning things, and then the more I questioned things, the more I was spotting plot holes and problems. And I realized that maybe I should stop asking questions and just watch the movie.
Yeah. Do you know when the things like that occur? I just call it movie magic.
Is it true?
Yeah, yeah. But everything up until then, I thought was great. It was mint.
Yeah, I love that movie. I think it's so good.
Even the little love story that was going on. You know, I thought that was good.
That was quite cute.
Well thought out.
Yeah. Yeah. I did not like the skull things that you see inside the church. That's all I'm going to say so I don't spoil it for people. But that is a good warning for people that are going to hate it.
Yeah.
Didn't like that.
Also, if you don't like spiders, probably best no.
Yeah, if you don't like spiders, church, be prepared. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely not watching that then.
I mean, it's fine. I survived it, but like, whew.
To be fair, if Panda can watch it, then anybody can watch it.
They were cute. Of course you think they were fucking cute.
Who, the spiders?
They were cute. They weren't fucking cute at all.
Who's saying the spiders were cute?
Who do you think?
Is it Cyber?
Yes.
What are we hunting now?
Let's have a look, shall we? That was so perfectly timed, Terry. So perfectly timed. Thank you.
Hi, Terry.
Literally, you went, what are we hunting now? And Terry went, dicks! That was so perfectly timed.
I think I'll leave you to hunt that one.
Hang on, what time are we on? Because I'm probably going to clip that later. An hour and a half. Great.
Yeah, I'm on 2 hours and a half.
That was brilliant. Terry says, hi, Maxwell. How are you doing, you gorgeous ginger goddess, you? I'll try get it now. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you. The spider. But they're all blue. None of them are high level yet.
You know you can do the other ones, right? And that will get you level up.
What other ones?
You can redo them. You don't have to just keep doing ones you haven't done.
I mean, I know, but then I've got ones I haven't done.
Yeah, and then your OCD will take over.
By order of the guild.
Yeah.
Why are you losing your will to live?
We received supply items.
Who's losing their will to live?
Terry.
Terry?
Yeah. That's a no bueno. The fuck is this fucking drink? Oh, do you know what? Fine.
Whee! Where is he? Where are you, spider person thing?
I fucking hate this one.
I don't mind this one. I think this one's alright.
Ugh, no.
It's the fucking squids.
COD. Oh.
Alright.
I don't understand why anyone plays that game. I've never heard someone playing COD be like, this is amazing! Even when they're winning a game, they are effing and jeffing at everybody. Everybody.
Emotional damage!
Exactly. Yeah, take that, you bitch.
Dicks!
Dicks indeed. Yeah, take that, dicks.
Oh, is Terry on COD?
Potentially still is, I'm not sure. Evidently was.
I understand your pain, Terry.
Oh, Terry, I hunted a banshee by myself before. Don't like them. Don't like them. It manifested as whatever one crawls along the floor like her out of the ring. No tap. So not only was it like, yeah, not only was it whispering sweet nothings in my ear all the time, which was lovely. It then crawled towards me like it just fucking came out the telly. So I was just like, nah, do you know what, I'm good. I was like, I should not be playing this alone.
But you still take it?
Yeah. I was like, I am frightened and confused and I want to go home. Should have messaged us, I would have joined. I never thought, I was just like, oh, I'll have a quick peek. And then I got a banshee and I was like, this is what you get for having a quick peek. We're gonna have an ad in 1 minute, everyone, just so you know. God help your first demon. Well, when my first demon comes about, I'm gonna be on there with you, so I'll be fine. It's not so bad when you're playing it with somebody else, because you can have a laugh. When you're by yourself, you've got no one to laugh with. It's a little bit more like...
Send us an invite next time and I'll jump on. And then
will.
you can laugh at me, because I've never played it before, so...
all you'll hear is both of us be like, oh god! Yeah.
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 No.
Yeah.
Seeing if you were going to spice it up a bit. No. Catch you off guard.
Oh, you fucking shitty.
Ah, see, you've played Knife Spoony before.
I have found a Lalabrina.
Ah,
oh,
enjoy.
The ballerina spider.
Yes.
The Spooder ballerina.
The Spooder ballerina, yes.
Cyber says, just don't play it with Terry, Maxwell. It's fun when you play it with Terry. You get less...
I'll play it with Terry.
You get less nervous of the jump scares, because they occur frequently.
I'm sure it'll be
fine. If you get fucking shit, nothing happens.
No, Terry makes Phasmo very Elden Ringish. It's great. Like, you'll literally just be like, I'm going to open this door, and she'll find the cursed object and not tell you.
Oh, okay, I see.
And then all you'll hear is hee hee hee.
See, if it's the mirror, I'm very much a big user of it, and also the tarot cards. And I also don't tell people.
Yeah, I may have made the mistake. On the first game that I played with Cyber, I found the tarot cards, and I didn't know that cursed objects were like that much of a thing, so I'm just standing flicking through them at the door.
Oh, and you got that.
I managed to collect 6 different types of tarot card because I flicked through it that much. And then all I heard was like, who the fuck's got the cards? I was like, Am I not meant to look at them?
Do.
I need 1 card and I still haven't pulled it. Which one?
We still need to get the Dead by Daylight thing arranged.
We do. I've got the Discord set up, like a literal Discord with a sonar.
I've downloaded the game. I'm pretty much sorted on that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been practicing with me killer.
Very good.
I've been. I'm trying to use because I don't want to be Legion all the time. So I've been practicing with Samara. So I'm going to be crawling out the TVs all the time.
Is DBD cross-platform? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah. I imagine you'd like it. You do get hackers, which piss me off, but for the most part, it's actually quite fun.
Yeah, plus we've decided that we're only going to play DVD when there's enough of us.
Oh yeah,
we've got
games. Yeah, we've got a thing set up for when we're like streaming it and stuff, or even if we're not streaming it, we'll do private games only. So there'll be like 5 of us hanging out, whatever. Even if there's not 5 of us hanging out, you can fill it with bots. So
yeah.
Well, that Discord has a few people in it so far, and I think if we posted in there and arranged something, we'd be able to get 5 people, no problem.
Yeah.
Or even if you wanted to play with other people, I wouldn't stream it when I was playing because you get too many stream snipers.
Stream snipers you get on that game is ridiculous. And the fact that they come in your chat and then fucking brag about it. Like,
well, yeah, look at the one I had when I was streaming. And he's like, oh, that was the easiest thing ever. And I was like, well, of course it is, because you fucking tunneled isn't stream sniped. Evidently, it's going to be one of the easiest fucking games you played. And he tried to be, like, clever well, I wasn't gonna tunnel you until you started running your mouth. And I was like, but how did you know I was fucking running my mouth if you weren't already in my stream, bitch?
So essentially shot himself in the foot.
He was a fucking dick. Like,
he was. It was
came
really
into the
funny.
chat to brag that he's stream sniped.
Yeah.
Like, like, it just makes you sound awful at the game if you need to watch somebody else's stream.
But then he was like, when he was trying to be all like, every single person in chat was like, and you thought it was a good idea to announce that you did that? Are you okay? Do you need to talk to somebody? Oh no, I was the one that asked him if he needed to talk to somebody. I was like, I have a feeling Mummy either hugged you too much or Mummy didn't hug you enough.
Yeah, I was just there calling him a loser.
Yeah, you were. And then he went, well, my son likes watching us play and he doesn't like it when I lose. I was like, well, yes, children often don't like to see their parents lose. And I wish I thought of it at the time. But I was like, you know, you could show them how to play it properly. But no, I was just like, well, that's not the best tactic, but okay. I mean, I could put a delay on the stream, but then the delay that I have on stream already messes with us, because I'll literally be like, so how's everyone doing? And then when it takes a couple of minutes to get a response, I'll be like, well, don't answer us then. So if I put a further delay on me chat, no. So Wednesday, we're going to do DBD and Phasmo. Ooh, that'll be cool.
I'll have to check my shift on Wednesday. I think I'm doing it late, so I might not be able to join. But
oh, that's
enjoy.
fair. I mean, if you don't, we can always do it on a Saturday. Or Friday.
On what day did you say, sorry? Monday?
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
I got Bioshock on Monday.
True.
But I've nearly finished Bioshock Infinite, so I'll have actually finished the entire series.
Very good.
Yeah. So I need to
Cyber does commute nights on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I actually generally need to join a community night, because I have yet to do that.
Harold has Dead by Daylight too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Oi.
Like, I can't decide whether Harold would be like one of the fun killers that just messes about, whatever, or whether he would suddenly become like deadly serious and it'd be like, oh my god, that's Jason Bourne. You know what I mean?
It depends. It depends. If he shows up as Michael Myers.
Yeah. Terry was surprised at my choice of killer.
Which one's your choice of killer? I can't remember.
I used the K-pop guy.
Oh, you do? Yes, yes, you do.
Because he looks pretty.
Why are you surprised at that?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Panda will literally go for the prettiest thing in the room.
Yeah, I will.
It's why Panda's easily distracted by shiny things.
Or Cyber.
Or Cyber.
Okay, this spider thing will not fucking die.
No, it will not.
Killed it.
Why did I go for you then? Because you were the prettiest thing in the room.
Thank you for the raid, Magpie.
Rude.
Stop it.
Raid.
You asked.
Oh, look at Griffin. His little armor. Why are you attacking that thing? What are you doing?
I'm making friends.
I don't think this is making friends, Panda.
This is why I don't have any friends, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh.
Panda is very aggressive with her friend making. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
How are you, Shadow? Welcome in.
Hello, Shadow.
Hello. evening.
Hope all is well. On the front.
Tired as usual. Fair. Do I need to do shouties? Shadow doesn't stream just yet. But will. Hopefully.
Yeah, we will.
Soon-ish. I was up late last night, game with a friend. Ooh, what were you playing? Anyone else? I mean, have we gave Terry a shouty? We gave Harold a shouty. Oh, you were doing Drunk Phasmo. Nice. I could not do Drunk Phasmo.
I heard from the others, yes.
I shouldn't really do Drunk any game, to be honest.
How do you
Thank
do
you.
Drunk Phasmo?
You get drunk and play Phasmo.
See, I can't do that.
I only play horror when I'm drinking. I know. Right, they're not working, so we're just gonna have to do this. You need one of these, don't you? Well, let me do it again.
Have you gone into optional?
Well, see, my optional ends at the one we just did. No investigation.
Oh, right, okay, right. What you're gonna have to do now...
I could do the spicy chicken as an event.
Yeah, we could do that. We can go for that then. What you might have to do now, if you still need to up your rank, is just go out and hunt whatever's in the zone
Yeah.
that you're in.
We'll do this first, see how it goes, and then if I need to, I'll just go on an expedition.
Okay.
My aim is pretty bad. I know. My aim is horrendous.
But it's okay, because your thing fires really big bullets.
Fuck yeah. That's what she said.
A surprise shipment's come in. Hope you find something useful.
I love that line.
I say that all with love. I know. Yeah, that was actually a pretty good line. Yeah.
There's such a good line in Hellboy. It's like, I'm not a very good shot, but this thing fires really big bullets.
Yeah.
All right,
Facts
let's go hunt
be
ourselves
facts.
a chicken.
Yeah, they do. Oh, there's the chicken. Chicken.
After this.
Now you listen here, you big bastard.
You're getting in a bucket whether you like it or fucking not.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Ow.
Whoopa!
A few moments later.
Oh. Damn it. Eh. Are we cutting its tail off?
That's Lynch's approach with gun games. Get the shotgun because of his... Exactly.
Look.
You're bound to hit something then.
Exactly. Sometimes you don't need to have perfect aim. You just need a gun that fires a lot of bullets.
Yeah.
In a general direction. That's all you need.
I take that I don't need to be a good shot if I can shoot more than them. I like it. Okay, I don't need to be a good shot. I'll just fire lots of bullets. One of them's gonna hit, statistically speaking.
Exactly. Get back here. I swear to God, every fucking time. Paralyzed him.
Yay! I broke him. Felt like her of Big Bang Theory there. Pew pew. Nice, that should not have hit.
Eh. Oh god, I'm whiffing. I'm whiffing.
Oh, you bitch!
Wah.
It moved! Ah, got him. Fucking boop boop.
I broke its tail off.
Woo! Fucking boop boop.
Monster Hunter Fried Chicken. Yeah. Oh no, it ain't going anywhere, mate. It's yeah.
Boop. So is everybody's night going well? I know I keep asking, but I'm gonna keep asking. Where you shooting? Oh, tail, tail. Get down, get down.
Get down.
Get down.
Get down.
Ooh, look at that stuff on the bird. That's so cool.
What bird? Whose bird? My bird? Your bird?
Yeah, your bird.
Oh.
It's alright. It's only alright. Am I boring you again? Is that what this is? Considering I've only been up for 3 hours, has it been a good 3 hours? We're about to start making the Easter bread house. Ooh. Shadow. Of course Harold's doing something cool.
He is. Harold does have a top hat.
He does.
Cool thing, very cool thing.
Yeah. I don't think it's ginger.
It also means Harold
Sort of
gets his
cookie.
head and gets the other top hat.
Fair. Could it be a shortbread? Now Maxwell's a Dalek. Oh dear.
I'm a Dalek?
Yeah.
Exterminate.
I
ain't got time to go. He's dead.
Oh well, that was easy.
I literally just went through and bombed him on that. Now I know some people would like me to do that to them in real life, but don't you dare! Don't you dare! You
fixed it?
If it's me sounding like a robot, it might be my internet.
No, it'll be mine. It keeps swapping out the executables when it's not meant to.
Ah, okay, I got you.
However, that Rathalos just fucking froze, so it could be my internet.
Ah.
That's not Rathalos, it's a Rathian. I don't know my wyverns.
I was gonna say, I didn't realise you were fighting a Rathian.
Yeah.
Why have you just got your
Yeah,
power?
Rathian shows up later on in the game.
Yeah, okay.
He's like end game stuff.
So this was an event, so I'm pretty sure this grants us a really cool hat.
Yeah, I've already made the hat.
Should we go have a look?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's go have a look.
Would you like me to put the hat on? So next hunt that we're both wearing the same hat.
If I can make the hat, I don't know whether I'll be able to make the hat.
Oh. Always.
Hello, Mrs. Maxwell. I would like to see the hat.
Hello, wife.
Hi, Rank.
Oh, this is who you refer to in the game as a wife.
Yeah, Gemma's my wife.
Isn't it cute? It's adorable.
Did you make the
What
bird?
the?
I can't make the hat.
Oh. If it's any consolation, I have already made the hat.
It's so cute.
So
I'll just
now
have to
have a
do
bird on my
the event 2 more times and I should be able to make the hat.
Well, I can help you do it. It didn't take us that
Am
long
I
to do that
currently wearing high rank armor? I don't think I am.
one. What do you mean you're not wearing high rank armor?
I don't think I'm wearing high rank armor.
Oh my god, you're not doing what you did in World, are you?
Potentially.
What did you do in World?
In World,
Right,
because
so-
we had layered armor on, I didn't realize that I was still in the level 1 armor you start the fucking game with, and we were in Iceborne Master Rank level 4.
Yep.
Oh,
And
you still
I
have
was
basic
like,
armor.
yeah, and I
So-
still had the tutorial armor.
Panda was getting her ass kicked, and she was like, "Why am I dying all the time?" And then somebody brought up, and he was like, "What armor are you wearing?" And then Panda realized that she's wearing layered
Floss.
armor and not, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Good time. Good times.
Yeah.
I need to play World. I've only played it like once. I think.
Sorry, I'm getting rid of the exclamation marks.
I've got it on PC. Just haven't really played it.
It's not crossplay.
I know.
I've got it on PC now.
Ah. I would get it on PC, but I think my PC would blow up.
I was just saying, I think PC would blow up if you tried.
I think so too. These are really hurting my ear.
Oh, no.
Look, it's all red.
Have you not got headphones?
I do. These
you
wouldn't
using
hurt if I didn't have the headband on. But I've got a
Oh.
headband on, so. I will just complain and grin and bear it. It's fine.
Oh yeah, it's clearly grinning and bearing it.
Yeah. I still said I complain.
True. You did.
Well, I was just typing that. Well, look how red my ear is, or that I'll just complain. Both are accurate. No, the headband thing. Oh. Should we try this gun?
Get to work? Alrighty. Perfection.
Great. I think I'm going to head off for tonight.
Okie
Fair enough.
Great. Well, I will see you guys later.
Bye for now.
Thank you for joining the chat.
Yeah.
No problem. See you later.
Bye.
That's a good choice.
Right. So I'm just gonna have to. Oh no. That was rude. I'm gonna do the event again.
Yeah, I'll be there in a second. I'm just
What a free
changing
challenge. No.
Ichigo's look.
Can I do that one? No. That's
What are you trying
it.
to do? Oh, okay.
Sinful has like some of the best and slightly disturbing emotes that I've came across. Ow.
Okay, let's be on our
Harold
way.
is telling your headphone not fuck with your hair.
Supply shipments coming.
Yeah.
Hope you find something useful.
Yeah.
There you go. Ow. Do you know what it is? It's the little bit that goes behind your ear because I've only got ickle ears.
Hmm.
There you go. That might help. Probably won't.
Panda! Look.
Yes. Oh, wow. You are red. That is so cool. Oh, no, that feels worse. Don't like it.
Ooh, I like the armor.
Thanks.
Is that the... That's the... That's not the high rank, is it?
No. It's the Guardian, though.
Ah, okay, okay. Alright, we're gonna have to get you some high rank stuff.
Yes, we are. To be honest, I think I may end up doing this one and potentially, like, coming off, because I know I was late starting, but someone else that lives in this house goes to bed.
Yeah.
And I don't want to keep them awake.
I'm almost on to 3 hours, so I'm fine
Yeah.
with calling it there if you want. After this one.
Oh, I didn't put any mods on the gun. Shit.
Missed.
Because you got it on the move.
Go. Take it. Take this. And that. And this. And that.
And a bit of that. Woo.
I think he's got a wound somewhere.
Oh.
Got it. I saw it coming, you fool. But you are but a chicken. Oh, okay, maybe I didn't see that one. That was...
He has a few then.
Oop.
Just a few.
Ooh.
That'll do it.
Woo! Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Uh-oh.
Ow, ow. I got you, Panda.
Thanks. Hi, Crystal. How are you? Welcome in. How's it going?
By the way, where's that tail? There it is.
Maxwell is exterminating again. I think it's just because the computer does not like multiple things. Just had
wow.
food and watched Black Mirror. Ooh, how'd you like it?
Oh,
Like, how are
yeah,
you liking
how
Black
was
Mirror? And what did you have for food?
Oh. Oh. Get out of my way.
Chinese takeout. And yeah, I'm liking the new season. Ooh, very nice. I need some Chinese takeout. That's like a couple of days in a row I've heard someone saying Chinese takeout and I need it now. Do you watch it too? I haven't watched the newest season. I did watch the last one though. I quite like Black Mirror.
I've never watched Black Mirror.
It's good. I didn't even mind the fact that Miley Cyrus was in it.
Miley Cyrus, isn't it?
Yeah. And I didn't mind.
Yeah.
Which kind of proves how good I thought it was.
I'm in a bush. They can never find me here.
That is fair. You enjoyed that bush.
I will.
Over there.
Good. Well, you're joining us just in time to find someone to raid.
Woo!
Where? Here? Not here? Never mind. She's just trying to have a party in the USA. Leave her alone. Oh, I plan to. I'm going to leave her well alone. Don't you worry about that. Short streamed it. Yeah, I started later than I was meant to because I forgot to eat. And me housemate has work, so she goes to bed. She's probably been in bed for like an hour. But I don't like being on too late and making too much noise because I don't want to disturb her too much. So I just watch a movie in my bed and go sleep.
Why not?
Yeah. I'll be back tomorrow though.
Okie dokie.
That, and I don't know if you can see how red my ear is right now. But I can't manage another hour with these headphones in. I think my fucking ear will drop off. Right, so we will save. Thank you, Mr. Maxwell, for the game.
No problem. Anytime.
I will leave the Discord just so I can actually raid out without like Dalek shit going on.
No worries.
So thank you very much for the game, and I shall chat to you later.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Right, so we'll get that done. And we'll swap over. It is the same colour as my hair, isn't it? Look at that, man. Poor thing. Right, who can we raid? Oh. You can play that song instead though, can't you? Oh, that was a drop. I appreciate that. Right. Raid. Thank you, Graysel, for popping in. I appreciate you. I hope you have a good rest of your night. I know I gave you one earlier. But I'll give you another one.
I think it looks like a Lego. A Lego, if Lego and the PS5 had a child together, it's the Zoshia hammer. That's my opinion on it. Thank you for coming to my...
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. You're welcome. An Elden Ring one. Oh, why'd I cut it short? Oh, I know why I cut it short. Hang on, we'll try again. Don't worry, don't worry. There you go. No, you don't want favoritism.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Looking at me.
Oh.
Sure, I like it.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was proximity chat then. Ah! Jay!
Right, so let's have a look. Here are our game options, okay? We've got Repo. You're welcome. We've got Final Fantasy 14. We've got Schedule 1. More Repo. Red Dead Redemption 2. Nope. So, yeah, that's it. Or we go find someone playing this game. Yeah, I was thinking repo. Oh, 2 for someone new. Okay, we'll find someone new. So, same category. Filter. Unless anyone has a suggestion. Who's this? Sorry, I'm not being chatty. I'm trying to find someone we can read. Oh, really? Go away. Thank you. Right, I have found someone.
Confusing me. I don't even know where they are anymore.
It's spider time!
What?
You can say
Get over here. Get over here. Bitch.
Nice.
Okay, so we have subscriber and raider message. Raider? Subscriber and follower message, sorry. As always, you lovely bunch. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you greatly. We will be back tomorrow with God of War, finally. And until then, I hope you all have a great weekend. Rest of your weekend. And have a good night. I'll chat to you in a minute. I appreciate you, Harold. Thank you very, very much. And I shall see you guys later.